And we kick things off with legal matters this Friday morning. The Roodepoort Magistrates Court in Johannesburg will hear the bail application for Tiffany Meek. And that's the woman who was accused of murdering her son, Jayden-Lee. The boy was reported missing by his mother and found the next morning severely bruised on the staircase of the complex in which they live. SABC News reporter Lopang Alamu is in Roodepoort and joins us now live. And Lopang, the community there, this is in Vleerhof, is dealing with grief and anger, given the fact that this woman was in fact part of the search for this 11-year-old after she reported him missing.
Definitely, Ayanda, those are the correct words. You'd also notice that there's quite a huge police presence here. This after we noticed the anger that was displayed by some of the residents in Vleerhof who made their way to the Roodepoort Magistrates Court. We're going to try and walk over to some of the community members just to show you what is currently happening. You'd notice that the police have cordoned off the area so as to not allow the community members inside court. They did actually pack the courtroom on Monday. We had some people who were denied access because some were standing, and as you would expect, some making remarks towards the mother of Jayden-Lee as she walked into the dock. We did speak to some community members who expressed sadness, but mostly them being angry at the sequence of events, Ayanda, them looking for the child with the mother, them actually trying to find out what happened to Jayden-Lee. Meanwhile, the suspect in this particular matter was right with them looking for her son. And we also do know that she only reported the son missing only later on that evening, just 2 hours before 12 midnight. So what we're expecting today, the formal bail application proceedings to start here. We are yet to apply to take those proceedings live. The courtroom has changed. This means a new magistrate, and this means we'd need new permission to take those visuals live. The last time we were here at this court, Tiffany Meek was quite emotional, trying to find out if she could get legal representation. We also do know that her lawyer could not make it, so we're expecting a little bit more information to come out today. We do know that Jayden, this is according to the state, that Jayden passed on due to a blunt force head injury, and as well as the charges that Tiffany is facing at this moment: murder, obstruction of justice, defeating the ends of justice, as well as criminal injury. And that particular charge comes in with her having accused, this is now according to the charge sheet that we saw on Monday, her having accused the scholar transport driver, Mr. Kumalo, of being part of her son's disappearance. Now, all that and more information as we try and go into court, where she is expected to make an appearance shortly. Ayanda, for now, it's back to you in studio.
Lupang, before we let you go, I wonder if you can just take our viewers back and remind us if, the state had ever explained how they actually got to a point where they pinned Tiffany for her son's murder.
And if you could just repeat that, I'm going to try and move out quickly. It's quite loud where we are.
All right, we are watching visuals. In fact, this is of a previous demonstration as we continue covering the story of a woman who is arrested in connection with her son's murder. Lopang Alamu is part of our team at the Roodepoort Magistrates Court, where there's a lot of activity from an angry community there. And Lopang, I'm hoping you're better able to hear me now. Help us understand how Tiffany ultimately was pinned down for this particular killing, especially because we understand she's the one who reported that her son was missing.
And now this is information we're getting from the police, inconsistencies in her story. So this would mean that certain things, certain details in her story actually changed as the police questioned her, as well as just the police. What we do understand, really, on the day the son was missing, she denied the police access into the home that they shared. But from the investigator, one of them saying that as soon as they entered the home to search the house, they found some blood on Jayden-Lee's bed. So that's the bed where he'd use to sleep on. So that's in his bedroom rather. And so they then just linked everything. They also made mention of the fact that the K9 units were able to help them track the sequence of events and actually basically confirm to the police that Jayden-Lee was actually killed inside the apartment. Now, the reports we were getting earlier was that Jayden-Lee was killed outside of the home, but now the information we have at our disposal at this point is that Jayden was killed inside the house and then only dragged after this brutal murder. We do know that at arrival at the hospital, at the community healthcare center that he was taken to after a security guard discovered his body, only then was he pronounced dead. But the people who were there when Jayden's body was found mentioned the bruises on his body, and you can just imagine an 11-year-old boy, also quite visibly cold from what we understand, also changed color. This is what we are getting from the people who were there when Jayden's body was found. So that's what the police told us, that all the canine information they got led to this particular suspect, but they also did mention that more arrests are imminent. So the deputy police minister also saying that she really does not believe that Tiffany was alone in this alleged murder, and we are yet to hear that information as the day progresses. Ayanda.
All right, Lopangala, live to us there from outside the Roodepoort Magistrates Court for that reporting. Thanks very much indeed. Certainly a difficult story to tell here, of course, given the fact that in many instances, children are meant to be safeguarded by their parents and not harmed, as is possibly the allegation in this particular case. We'll continue watching the story for you as it continues to unfold.